Hey, today we're talking about the best places to source resale inventory online. They got about, I don't know, 10 postcards, not that many. I think it's the 4th of July. I think that has an effect on these things. Everyone's on vacation, out of office, etc. No time to buy postcards. So this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna go over the places that I've bought inventory from over the years because if you can have it sent to you, it's pretty good. Obviously we're excluding in-person places, so in-person auctions, Goodwill, Salvation Army, garage sales, etc. No, and again, this is not in like a ranked order, but number one, not ranked, just for the sake of talking about it. Let's say Facebook Marketplace. Typically on Facebook Marketplace, I am not somebody who, if I'm gonna have it sent to me, sure, you can do retail arbitrage that way, online arbitrage, the Yacht Club, house and Riverview in Onnesquam, Massachusetts. But I don't really do that one at a time stuff anymore. I know somebody who they created a bot they set up to alert them when someone lists something locally anywhere in the country. 1243, sorry. And they get a notification when that goes live, and they message the person on Facebook saying, hey, like, I know you don't want to send this, but will you send this to me? I'll pay you, I'm a professional. All the stuff you gotta say to put someone at ease. Reading Pennsylvania Mount Gravity Railroad. That's cool. I don't do that. What I have done is used Facebook Marketplace to get in touch with people who own lots of crap and bought a lot of crap from them. The notable instances, I think, are like clean outs for houses, buying a lot of books, and then another time I bought a bunch of VCRs and electronics from someone, and that was via Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, eBay has to be on this list. Auctions on eBay, amazingly, are still a really good way to make money. I am buying postcards on eBay. I was buying in the past video games on eBay. Basically any lot of things you can probably buy on eBay, and if you do it right, you can make money off of it. I think probably eBay would be like some of the on the worst end, the spectrum of margins, just because it's eBay and most of the stuff's going on eBay. And you also are always, remember, if you're an online seller, you're always competing against, here's that railroad station. It's from 1907 when it was postmarked. You're always competing against brick and mortar or flea markets or whatever, people who are not paying online fees and shipping. So that does hurt a little bit, but eBay is good. Save your searches, save your sellers, sort by auctions. It's very simple. It just takes time. New Puebla School, $15.95. Another auction website would be Highbid.com. Highbid, no, that's not 15s. Highbid aggregates many auctions. So the Wisconsin Picker is an auction house I bought from. I can't remember the other names, but they will have their auctions. You'll bid through Highbid. You'll pay the auctioneer in weird ways. I didn't get banned from Highbid, but I got a no payment amount because this is a bad thing about Highbid, so you want to listen to this. The seller will dictate how you pay for it. They can say something wild like you got to pay through Zelle, which is just a way for the seller to not have to help them evade taxes, basically, because you don't get as far as I know, you don't get a 1099 from Zelle. So it's just cash in their account. Here's what sucks about Zelle. You have no recourse. So if he were to send me just junk, it could be a fly-by-night bait and switch scam, whatever. Maybe not bait and switch, but it could be a scam where I won. It was, I think, 100,000 Pokemon cards for like $2,000. And he said, you know, we'll talk about payment after the fact. I said, okay, I can pay you by credit card. We can do a PayPal invoice. He goes, no, it has to be Zelle. And it wasn't published, but I wouldn't agree to his terms. And so I got a negative mark. I won 3 auctions. I got 3 non-payment remarks. And so now when I go on there, I have to message the buyer, or the auctioneer, I mean, and convince them that I'm not a scam artist. Even though I before that happened, I had probably 25 positive sales. Kind of a bad thing about Highbid. You should know. I'm not saying that everyone's like that. I'm saying that one seller can totally destroy your account, which makes it a place that I don't really go anymore. It's fine. You can still like reach out to the auctioneers, and it's not like a death sentence. It's not a ban, but it makes things more difficult. And you know, that kind of friction makes me not want to be on there. Another auction site would be techliquidators.com. Are they still around? I'll look it up right now. So techliquidators.com works for Best Buy. Liquidators.com. They are still around, a Best Buy brand. They are a trusted name in bulk electronics. Again, you are competing against brick and mortar stores here, so especially on things like cell phones, it's not good. If you can get into the bigger stuff that requires more testing, like my biggest, most profitable thing I ever bought off here was, it was Guitar Hero stuff. Here we go. New Public School, Columbus Grove, Ohio. What year is this? Don't know, but it looks very old. The easier stuff, like right now on TL, let me see if my password's not saved. Well, whatever. Maybe I can still see. You've got computer and office, consumer electronics, toys and baby, home and garden, general merchandise. And I think I would do video games, what I was doing at the time, but it looks like they've got car electronics, small appliance, all that kind of stuff. It's just techliquidators.com. Go there yourself and see. That's a great site. Obviously, again, if you're paying too much for stuff, any place is a bad place to buy from. But if you're not, I'd recommend going there. bstocksupply.com is another auction site where I've bought lots of inventory from. Similar thing, similar idea. What you want to look for is, are they manifested? And is there any ambiguity in the manifest? And can I, am I willing to roll the dice on that ambiguity? Bstock Supply is, so bstock.com is like, again, another aggregator of deals. They're not like auction houses like Highbid is, but it's similar where it's like liquidation companies buying truckloads and pallets, I think exclusively. 574. Over here. All sites I've bought from, but I've not bought from recently. I'm only doing postcards now. So if they don't sell postcards, I don't really care. Bstock Supply will have like Target loads, they'll have Dick's Sporting Goods loads, they'll have, I think, Walmart loads. They'll have independent liquidators doing stuff as well. And again, you're always going to want to look at the manifest and then go off of that. With Bstock Supply, I think you have to register as a business, so you have to have an EIN, I'm pretty sure. But again, they could have changed over the past few years. Do your own research at a certain point. The next auction house I like, or auction website, not auction house, would be ShopGoodwill.com. Probably the worst place to buy stuff. And here's the asterisk. Sometimes it's really, 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 really good. I'll give you an example. Let's say 1 out of 10 people who donate their sports cards collections actually donate cards without picking through them. Everyone is going to assume that 1 in 10 is the one that they're bidding on. And so most of the time, if you can't find like explicit evidence that the auction you're looking at has stuff in it, Like I follow this one guy on YouTube who buys ShopGoodwill sports cards auctions, and I don't know how many he buys a month, but I'm sure he's buying a fraction of what's available. And he looks for things like, maybe he'll see like the side of a graded card, like a slab card. Or maybe one time he saw like the left foot of a card that he recognized, and it was a Patrick Mahomes rookie. Like little things like that. You have to be that aware to make money off ShopGoodwill. I like buying jewelry off there. Typically when you buy jewelry on any auction site, your biggest competition, unless it's like explicitly like, you know, turquoise jewelry or whatever, most of your competition is scrappers. So you'll be competing against 10 scrappers who are all trying to get as close to, you know, whatever scrap as they can while still making a profit. And then maybe 1 or 2 jewelry resellers who are in it for other reasons, looking to make money in other ways. So I do like it for that. Again, I haven't bought jewelry off there in maybe 2 or 3 years. That probably is well. If I had to stop, if I wanted to keep doing resale, but I couldn't do postcards, I probably would go back to jewelry, because what I like about this is cool, boo.com. Promotional postcard, $12.71. Boo.com is an online place to get the latest brands of activewear, footwear, swimwear, and everything in between. Do you think it's still around? Let's take some bets. Boo.com is loading. Still loading. I'll go to the next box now anyways and see if it loads. We gotta go to 41 now. I don't think boo.com is an active website. Yeah, site can't be reached. Sorry. Okay, where were we? We're looking for Barra del Rio, Veracruz, Mexico in 41. It looks like a marina or a beach maybe. So, ShopGoodwill, eBay, Tech Liquidators, B-Stock Supply, Highbid, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram. Instagram is actually a great place. There's the Veracruz, Mexico. I was talking to a guy, I was messaging him, who just bought 10 pallets of sports cards. 10 pallets is a lot of sports cards. That's 5 million postcards. It's a lot. Sorry, sports cards. I got a one-track mind, 3204. And I'm talking to him, I'm like, how are you gonna sell all these? And not like in a accusatory way, or like not in a skeptical way, but just like, I don't know how I would sell that many. I was like, are you gonna get dealer booths? Are you gonna go on eBay? What are you gonna do? He said, no, I'm actually gonna sell most off Instagram. So you can develop relationships online with people and you can buy from them. He's selling them. I'm sure that he's selling to people who are gonna, in turn, resell them. So just like those kinds of personal relationships. Hard Rock Miner and El Paso Gold Mine, $10 postcard. Are there any wholesalers I can think of? Online wholesalers? Probably not. I mean, back a long time ago, you just use a wholesaler to get ungated for more profitable categories on Amazon. And I wasn't really buying to resell those. Oh, sorry, one more. Local auction places. So for me, that is onebid.us. And it is liquidbidding.com. I guess RepoCast too. They're not so local, but I'll still buy from them. RepoCast as well. Local online auction houses. You bid online. The last thing I bought in bulk from them was like 500 of these 12 by 12 by 12 garden bags. And I paid like 10 cents a piece for 500. And I sold them for $3 a piece. Half of them, I gave a quarter away and I used half. I bought like 500 copies of AC/DC, Rock Band AC/DC. I think it was Rock Band, not Guitar Hero. New sealed games like in 2017 from repocast.com. I bought a whole bunch of police surplus one time. I've bought video games, like small lots of video games, small lots of postcards. And the best thing to do, I think, for that is when you go to pick stuff up, also drop things off to sell on your own. So you're kind of working both ends of that. But I'd say that is probably the best. Am I missing any? Where's a good place to buy stuff to resell online? In the comments, I'd love to hear where you buy stuff from. That's my list, not ranked, but I think you get a good idea of what fits your business, your lifestyle. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.